Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Storytime. I'm Miss Davena, and for those of you who follow us regularly, don't forget to let me know you're watching. If you're new to us today, I'm coming to you a little bit differently from home, so if you are looking for the book list and things like that, they will be uploaded tomorrow. But I just wanted to let you know, and I didn't want to miss doing our story time, so I'm just broadcasting from home today. So let's go ahead and start with our hello song. Ready? Hello everybody and how are you? How are you? Hello everybody and how are you? Again. Hello everybody and how are you? How are you? Hello everybody and how are you? So how are you today? The sun is shining and the weather's a little warmer, so we can get outside and maybe go for a walk or play at the playground. I know yesterday when I was driving through town, I saw a lot of you children out playing at the playgrounds, and I love seeing that because it's so good to get outside and get some fresh air whenever you can and get your body moving, because that's really important to help your brain grow. And that's all important. Did you know that being outside in the fresh air and moving around helps your brain grow, and it actually makes you smarter? That's pretty cool. It's amazing the way that our bodies work. So my topic for today is ice and glaciers. And ice is one of those things that happens to water when it what? Right, when it gets cold. Ooh. So we see ice more in the winter time, unless you go in your refrigerator and your freezer and get some ice out of there, because it's taking water and freezing it. So my first book is called Glaciers, and it's by Sally M. Walker, and it's going to tell us a little bit about a different type of ice. All right. So what exactly is a glacier? Does anybody have any ideas? It's a very good thought. A glacier is a huge pile of snow and ice, and it's really common in very cold places, kind of like Alaska or the North Pole, or wherever it's got a lot of cold weather and a lot of snow. So have you ever seen a pile of snow? Very cold places have many piles of snow. In these places, the snow never completely melts. Every time it snows, the pile gets bigger. They can grow big enough to cover whole mountains. The piles can get very icy too, and sometimes a huge icy pile starts to move, and then it's called a glacier. So a glacier, when it starts to move, is or a big pile of snow when it starts to move like that and ice is called a glacier. Some glaciers can be gigantic. That means it's really big, and their icy peaks reach high into the sky. So if you look at that picture and see how little they are in that boat next to that big mountain of snow and ice. A glacier can be more than 15,000 feet tall. That's about 9 times as tall as the world's tallest building. That's pretty cool. And glaciers and snowy mountains line Antarctica's channel is that Lemaire Channel. So that in here, over here, there's some places in Antarctica. A fast glacier might move 1,000 feet in 1 year, and then others just look like rivers and don't move really fast as rivers. So there's also in Greenland is another place where you might see glaciers. Glaciers are made up of millions of tiny snowflakes. So see that ice crystal there? Every glacier on Earth formed from snowflakes. But how do snowflakes turn into glaciers? That's pretty interesting. Heat makes snowflakes' icy points evaporate. That's a big word, evaporate. It means it turns into gas and goes up into the air. So we don't see it when it melts and it turns into gas. And that when it goes way up into the air, you can't see it. So then the snowflake's first step is becoming a glacier is when some of those points start to evaporate. And then they change from solid, which is the snowflake shape, into gas, which means when it evaporates. And then the heat from the sun makes it evaporate and changes it into a water vapor that goes up into the sky. And I see Desmond and Dominic are watching today. Hi, guys. Welcome today. A snowflake begins to turn into glacial ice when water freezes in the center of the flake. So when the snowflake starts to melt, then water might freeze in the center here, and then that starts to turn into ice. And then we have an example here of how glaciers form. So it has a cycle. It says a snowflake falls. Some of the snowflake's icy points evaporate and it gets smaller and the edges start to melt. Then it turns into firm. See that? How it gets smaller but closer together and more solid. And then it turns into glacial ice and it gets solid like ice. So those are the ways that over time it starts to get harder, and then it squeezes out the air in between, and the ice and the snow packs more and more. So there's all different kinds of ways and places that the snow and ice mixing together make glaciers. And remember we said ice is what? Ice is when it melts, or the water, the snowflakes melt and turn into water, or water and then they freeze again, or water itself freezes, meaning it gets really cold. So there's a lot more to this book, and this book is available at the library. So if you really want to learn about glaciers, there's a whole bunch of different information in this book. And remember, what do we say when a book has facts in it? We call it a non-fiction book. It means that things that are in here are true. It has real pictures from real places in the world. So this is called a non-fiction book. And remember, if you look at the spine, we were talking about the Dewey Decimal System and Dewey the Library Cat. See how it has a number instead of saying just the author's name? It has the number and the author's first three initials. So that tells us where in the library, in the nonfiction section, to find books on glaciers. So that's our book on glaciers. And like I said, I only read part of it because it's a long, long, long book. But I just wanted to tell you that you need snow and you need ice to make glaciers. So our first song we have is called 10 Little Icicles. And it goes to the tune of 10 Little Indians. So we know this tune, so it's really easy. And we're going to count. And remember, we can count. What's the sign for 10? Who remembers the sign for 10? Very good. It's your thumb up and shake it. Yes, excellent. So we're going to sing through this a couple of times. And I want you to be thinking of different places that icicles can form. Ready? Here we go. And where they hang, where they might hang. And a lot of us see them hanging from where? From the roof, right? So we can see them hanging from the roof, but where else might you see them? Be thinking about where else you might see an icicle hang. Ready? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little snowflakes, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little snowflakes, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little snowflakes, 10 little snowflakes hanging from the roof. Is the roof up or down? Right? It's on top of your house, so it has to be up, right? Unless it falls off because the wind is really strong. But most of your roofs are on top of your house, so they're up. So that's why we pointed up. Where's another place that they might hang from? Do you remember? What's this? What's this the sign for? Do you remember? Trees. Very good. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to hanging from the trees. Ready? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little snowflakes, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little snowflakes, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little snowflakes, 10 little snowflakes hanging from the trees. That was really good. Thank you for helping me. How about, what's something else?
Chicken, pizza, buffalo wings, and pizza.
What's something else that they might hang from? Your nose? Well, yeah, I guess if you get cold weather, well, you know what? You're right, because when Miss Davena went to a run and a walk that was out at RB Winter State Park a couple of years ago in January, it was so cold that all the people that were running and walking, from breathing, their breath froze on their nose and their eyebrow. Oh, there's another one. Eyebrows and their beards, and even on the ends of their hats and their scarves. So there's all kinds of places because the water froze because it was so cold. So let's do our nose. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little snowflakes. Icicles. I'm doing snowflakes. Sorry, guys. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little icicles, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little icicles, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little icicles, 10 little icicles hanging from my nose. So let's do my chin. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little icicles, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little icicles, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little icicles, 10 little icicles hanging from my chin. Ooh, that would be cold, wouldn't it? Where's someplace else it might hang from? From the window. That would be a good place. Let's do that. We'll do it one more time. We'll do the window. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little icicles, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little icicles, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little icicles, 10 little icicles hanging from the window. Window. Very good, guys. That was so good. Who remembers why we do 3 like this and not like this? What can you tell me? Let's see. Who's watching that I know might know this answer? I'm thinking that, I think Keegan probably knows, if Keegan is watching today, that this is 3 in sign language because this is a W in sign language. And my son here is with us. Yes, my son is here at home with me today, so if you hear somebody talking, you might hear him, so I apologize. Just ignore that. It's okay. He's asking for a snack because he thinks that he's always hungry. How many of you always think you're hungry? Miss Davena has to fight that off herself, so I just drink another glass of water or tea or something like that. But we learned that 1 is like this, so let's go through it. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, because this is W, like my son's name, Wyatt, or water, or when. That all starts with the W sound, and because this is a W in sign language, we do 3 like this. So that was really good. Thank you for helping me. Remember, help. So it's like you have your hand here and your hand like this with your thumb up and you lift. So you're helping Miss Davena sing our song. So my next book that I have for us is called A Perfect Day. And this is kind of a neat little book. And it's by Carin Berger. And this is a fiction book because why? Why is it called fiction? Who remembers? Very good. It's called fiction because it's a make-believe story. It doesn't mean that the stuff in it couldn't happen. It just means that somebody wrote the story. So who's the person that wrote the story? What are they called? Carin Berger is the person that wrote the story. What is another name for her? Author, right. And who drew the pictures? Does anybody know what the person that draws the pictures is called? Yes, what do you think? Right, they're called the illustrator. So this book doesn't tell me who the illustrator is. Otherwise, I would tell you. Let's see. She actually, yes, it does. Carin Berger actually both wrote the story, so she's the author, and she drew all the pictures and made all the designs in the book. So she's also the illustrator. So here we go. A Perfect Day. It snowed and snowed and snowed. the whole world was white. White. Look at that. Everything's covered in white. And remember a couple weeks ago when we had that great big snowstorm for here? We haven't had one that big in a while. Everything was covered in white. Emma got to make the first tracks in the snow. So she was the first one that got to walk in the fresh white snow. And you can see her tracks all the way around in the snow. And that's a fun thing to do when you get to be the first one to go out. It's kind of fun and neat because you're the first one making tracks. But pretty soon, Leo whooshed by on his skis. So we have what? We have Emma, and she's all by herself. So there's one person in the story, isn't there? And then Leo comes by, and so now how many people are in the story? Ready? 1 for Emma. And 2 because we have Leo. So 1 and 1 equals 2. Very good. Otto got lost in a deep drift. Uh-oh. Otto's the dog. He got stuck in the snow. Oh, no. So now there's 1, 2. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with finding where the picture is. 1, 2, and then Otto makes a third, not a person, but a third individual or being. Sasha and Max showered Oscar with a flurry of snowballs. Oh no! So they started throwing snowballs at Max, or at Oscar. And then while Willa climbed up to the top of a big mountain. So now how many boys and girls are in these pages? Ready? We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 boys and girls in these pages. And there's a lot of snowballs. And he's doing what? He's holding an umbrella up to try to keep them from hitting him. Oh my goodness, look how big that snowman is. Wow, that's huge. Thea and Lilla built the tallest snowman ever. And the smallest. Oh my goodness, look how little that snowman is. It almost looks like a little rabbit, doesn't it? So Thea and Willa built a great big tall snowman and a little teeny short snowman. Mickey made the very best snow fort with Sarah. When you have a lot of snow, it's really fun to make snow forts and play in them. You just have to be careful and make sure they're safe. And make sure your moms and dads or special grown-ups know that you're in there because they know where to look for you if they're looking for you. Then Everett sped by on a sled. Oh, yes, that's a fun thing to do in the snow is go sledding. So did Finn and Simone and Sophie and Sadie. Oh, my goodness, that's a lot of boys and girls. Let's count how many there are. Ready? So we have Everett, so that's 1. Then we have Finn, 2. Simone, 3. Sophie is 4. And Sadie is 5. So there's 5 boys and girls sledding on the snow. Oh, that looks like so much fun. I love to sled in the snow. So now what are they doing? Oh, where are they? They're on the ice on a frozen pond. Nick and Anya spun loop-de-loops on the frozen pond. Look at that. They can fancy skate. Wow. That's pretty cool. And Charlotte opened an icicle stand. So she's got an icicle stand and she's selling them to boys and girls to have a little treat. Kind of like a popsicle, but just plain icicles. Then, all together, everyone made snow angels. Do you ever make a snow angel? It's a lot of fun. And remember, all, so it's all of you, all, and they did it together. So they all made snow angels at the same time. And we're going to count how many are in here, and then we'll count up to that, because there's a lot more than 10, I think. What do you think? Anybody have any guesses on how many are there? Keep that in your head, and we'll find out. Ready? So we're going to count them all. And it might be hard for Miss Davena to find the pages. So if you want to look, we'll try to do them all at the same time. Ready? We're going to go down and up. That way I make it easier. 1, 2, you count with me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, wow, 16, 17, 18 boys and girls made snow angels all at the same time. That's a lot. Now, can you count up to 20? We just counted up to 18, so if you can count up to 20, you can count up to 18. So ready? Let's count up to 20. And remember when Miss Davena said that if you can count in sign language all on one hand. And some of you may not know all the numbers up to 20. That's okay. We're just going to talk about them, and you can always go back and watch this video again, which is one of the fun things about doing a video story time, is you can go back and practice your numbers. So with Miss Davena. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now to do 11, it's just like doing a 1, but you turn your hand around and you go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now you do a 6. Remember, 6 is like this. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That was really good. Thank you for helping Miss Davena count. And like I said, it's hard sometimes for you to know, because it's all right. If your fingers don't work that way and you don't know your numbers, just practice. That's how you learn. So we'll count one more time to 20. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yay! That was so good. That was excellent. And who remembers how many boys and girls were making snow angels? Right, there were 18. So it's the 8 and you turn it out. 18 snow angels and 18 boys and girls. Oh, what happened here? The lights came on. So what time of day do you think it might be? It is. It's getting to be nighttime. So dusk, which means right before it gets dark, and it starts to get darker, but it's not all the way dark yet. And the lights blinked on. And here in Lewisburg, we have some really pretty street lights, and they do come on. And it's like all of a sudden they go boom, and they're on. It was time to go home for warm hugs and dry clothes and steaming hot chocolate. Yum. The perfect end to a perfect day. Good night. So that was the story about a perfect day. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to sing our Snowflakes Falling Down song. And we've sung this a couple of times, so I know you remember this song. But remember, this is rain, so snowflakes were just going to float down. So they're falling to the ground. I want you to go down and touch the ground. They're going to, can you catch them on your nose? So make sure you find your nose. Do they fall and touch your toes? Where's your toe? No, that's right, your toes. And then they're falling to the ground. So we're going to sing this through 2 times. Ready? Get your snowflakes ready. Snowflakes, snowflakes falling down, falling, falling to the ground. Can you catch them on your nose? Will they fall and touch your toes? Snowflakes, snowflakes falling down, falling, falling to the ground. So if snowflakes are falling down, what direction is the ground if they're falling to the ground? Is it up or is it down? Very good. It's down because we're falling down and they fall down to the ground. So the ground is down. Very good. And they fall from the sky, which is where? Up. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Here we go. Snowflakes, snowflakes falling down, falling, falling to the ground. Can you catch them on your nose? Will they fall and touch your toes? Where's your toes? Good job. Snowflakes, snowflakes falling down, falling, falling to the ground. Yay! Good job! Yes! Thank you. That was so good. You guys really did a great job. So remember we learned about ice and that it happens when water or moisture freezes because it's what? Is it hot? No, it's cold. And we learned about glaciers, which need both snow and ice to form. That means to get together. So the snow falls and the snowflakes melt and what happens to some of that? It turns into moisture and some of it goes up in the air, right? So the snowflakes get smaller and closer together. And then it snows again, and it melts again, and it snows again, and it melts again. And they keep building and pounding together and making great, great big piles. And then they start to what? When it starts to move, when those big piles of snow and ice start to move, then it's called a glacier. So that's what we talked about today. We talked about ice, and we talked about snow and glaciers, and how much fun it is to play in the snow. So remember, like we said, this book here is available at the library. These are both available at the library. So if you want to read them again, you can. You can request them and take them out. And also, at probably tomorrow, it won't be up today, but tomorrow I will put up a book list of other books about snow and ice and glaciers and different places different books you can find at the library and different activities. Remember to check out our STEAM calendar that will also be in the link with all kinds of activities and crafts and fun stuff to do with ice. So there's a lot of really fun, cool things that you can do with ice with your moms and dads and special grown-ups, and even with some of your big brothers and sisters who might want to do it too, because there's a lot of really fun activities to do. So we'll go ahead and we'll sing our goodbye song. So everybody help Miss Davena sing. And remember, friend. So we're all friends. So it's your 2 pointer fingers hugging each other twice. So that we wave goodbye, right? We wave goodbye like this or like this. And then we clap for all our friends too. Ready? We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye to all our friends. We wave goodbye like this. We clap our hands like this. We clap our hands like this. We clap our hands for all our friends. We clap our hands like this. Yay! That was awesome. Thank you. Goodbye.